Salve, this is Magister Buddy, and this is your lesson for our snow day on February 20th, 2019. Go ahead and grab your packets because we are going to have a regular class. Here's our Pam and myth for the day. So our Pam is autem mortem effugere nemo aut amorem potest. I love this one because it uses several things that we know already. Potest is something that we already know, along with a complementary infinitive here, effugera. We've got an out, which is a connector that we know. Actually, we've got a double out, right? Either or. And then we've got a couple of direct objects here. Nemo, I don't think we've learned Nemo, but it means no one, and that's our subject. So a literal translation is no one is able to flee either death or love. Now, a modern day equivalent of this would be something from Benjamin Franklin. He said, but in this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes. So no one is able to flee death or love. According to ancient Romans, according to Benjamin Franklin, no one's able to flee death or taxes. All right, Clytemnestra. We have alluded to or referenced Clytemnestra several times already when talking about other people in her family, but today is actually about her. So her position, she's the daughter of Tyndareus and Leda, the wife of Agamemnon, the king of Mycenae, which makes her the queen of Mycenae. Remember, she's the sister of Helen. Helen is the one who was supposedly the most beautiful woman in the world, who ran off with Paris. And she's also the mother of Iphigenia. We just talked about Iphigenia yesterday. Iphigenia is the one who was sacrificed by her father, by King Agamemnon, in order to appease the gods and set sail for Troy. Her domain, if she does have a domain, I mean, she's immortal, so the closest to a domain she has is the Queen of Mycenae. Her iconography, she's often shown as very matronly. She's not super young. She's often shown angry, which if you understand her backstory, I think it's perfectly understandable as to why she's angry. Her notoriety, she's most known for killing her husband. She killed Agamemnon. She murdered him when he returned from Troy. According to some sources, she murdered him while he was sleeping. According to others, she murdered him while he was bathing, shortly after returning. And this was in revenge for several things. I mean, he had been racking up a list of things that she was ticked off about. She actually was married already and had a baby before she ever met him, and she didn't want anything to do with him. But he, Agamemnon, killed her first husband and her first baby. So naturally, she really didn't like him. After raping her and forcing her to marry him, so another reason why she doesn't really like him, he then turned around and killed their daughter, Iphigenia. And then, to make matters even worse, when he returns from the war from Troy, he brings home another woman with him. He brings home Cassandra, whom we'll talk about later. So naturally, Clytemnestra, it really does not like Agamemnon. And I really love this picture because if you look at her expression, I mean, she is very resolute. She is confident. I mean, it's obvious what she just did. She has this huge battle axe here and she is covered in blood. She just murdered him. And, you can tell that she has no regrets. She is very, satisfied by what she did. All right, so we're going to do exercise 5 today, and I know that this is pretty difficult, but I want you to wrestle with this material as much as possible, and we'll discuss it together on Friday. I'm going to do the first 3 with you now. These are our standard instructions, so you're going to circle connectors and underline adverbs, draw arrows from any underlined adjectives to their antecedents, put parentheses around prep phrases, label the remaining words, S, D-O, and I-O, and then I separated the verbs. So verbs, the regular verb, the main verb will be just V, and then you've got your complementary infinitive. All right, so what I would like you to do is pause the video and try your best to do these first 3, and then unpause the video and check your answers with mine. All right, so here's what I got for the first three. Let's go over them together. Wos, if you look at your charts, your personal pronouns charts, which, by the way, I uploaded them to the Lesson 8 module, so you can download a sheet with just all of the updated charts, cumulative charts on them. Probably should have had you do that first. Okay, so wos can be nominative, can also be accusative, but if we look at our verb over here, our verb ends in tis, which is second person plural, right? So it would make sense that you would have a you all subject. So this is going to be our subject. Torum is accusative, so that's our direct object. Periculosum, this was already underlined, it's an adjective, so I drew an arrow from periculosum to torum. Celeriter is an adverb. I underlined it. I also put adv above it. You don't need to do that, but I can't really differentiate between stuff that was already underlined and stuff that I underlined because it's an adverb. Per urbem, pair's a preposition, and urbem is going with it, so that's our prep phrase. Ducere, we've got a vowel plus re, so that's our complementary infinitive, known as an adverb. Debetis is our main verb. All right, remember, in English, we usually want to do subject, verb, direct object, and then work in the extra stuff, right? Okay, so you all ought not, you could say shouldn't, okay? Lead. Then we go to our direct object, the dangerous bull through the city. And the adverb really you can work in pretty much any time that it makes most sense. So you all shouldn't lead the dangerous bull quickly through the city. You could do that several different ways. You all ought not to quickly lead the dangerous bull through the city. All right, number 2. Tempus, this is this US here. This nice US is obviously a subject. Semper is an adverb. Omni is a third declension adjective going with orbi. Orbi is also third declension, so that I there means that it's dative singular, so it's our indirect object. We've got a vowel plus re, so that's our complementary infinitive. Audet is clearly our verb, our main verb. So, time always dares to stand for the whole world. Remember, indirect objects, we translate them as to or for. Okay, that one I think was pretty straightforward, but if you'd have questions about it, definitely take notes on the side and we'll discuss on Friday. Whoops. All right, number 3. All right, so Rex, clearly in the odd box, so that's our subject. Praeclaris ends in US, it's a 1-2 adjective, so it's nominative singular masculine, which matches Rex. Rex is also nominative singular masculine. Autem is an adverb. Regnum ends in um, so it's our direct object. We've got et. We've got a double connector here, and we've got 2 sames that it's connecting. Both of these are complementary infinitives. We've got a vowel plus re. We've got a vowel plus re. That's how we know these are our infinitives. Ab solio is our prep phrase. Ab is a preposition meaning from or away from, and this is ablative, so it's going with the preposition. Potest is our main verb. Okay, remember, subject, verb, direct object, and work in the rest of the stuff. So the king, and not just any king, but the famous king, is able to both see and hear the kingdom from his throne. Now, I did forget autem, however. In English, we like to start with however at the very beginning of the sentence followed by a comma, so I'm going to do that over again. So, however, the famous king is able to both see and hear the kingdom from his throne. All right, guys, I know there are several of these. Do as many as you can, but don't work on it for more than about, 20 to 25 minutes. You should also spend some time on your vocab. You should spend some time on your charts. Download that set of charts from lesson 8 module. Practice writing those out until you know them by heart. Vale, til det skippelig